How's it going, everybody? Back out here today working on Kiwi's 512 stroker. Got a package in the mail the other day. We were talking about upgrading the cam. It came in actually early. Thought it was going to be in here on Monday. Gonna give her a little pep in her step. And I was actually surprised how fast it came in. So now I can get back on this thing. Well, last night, yesterday after I got done with the doing the tie rod ends on the Chevrolet pickup truck, I kind of rested for a little bit. Came back out here last night, went ahead and installed the cam, put the rockers back on. Right now I need to torque down the rockers, but I was really glad that this did show up. It's definitely gonna give it some more pep. So the cam on this thing, on the specs, excuse me, is basically, it's a 545 lift. The duration on it is 241, 247 with a load separation of 110. But like I said, I went ahead and put it in last night. Timing chain's in, everything's lined up. You know, sometimes you get a bug up your rear end and come out in the middle of midnight and go do some more work on a motor. But right now I'm getting ready to torque down the rocker arm assembly. Harlan suggests torque down at 25 foot-pounds. So let's get started with that. So now that's torqued down. Now I'm getting ready to do the push rods, get all that set. I'm going to set everything up at 0 lash, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go back and do a half turn on the preload. And that should get us pretty close to where we need to be at. We'll fire up, adjustments, whatever else needs to be done. So let's continue. So we got timing chain and gear set installed. I've got it dialed in straight up. The oil pump rod installed. Went ahead and set the distributor down in it. Got it set on number 1. And I've got the oil pump lined up at 12 o'clock. That way it just makes it easier. But before I get started on adjusting the rockers, originally when Kiwi decided to go ahead and change the cams out, he was wanting to go roller with it. But the Edelbrock E streets are not really set up for a roller. Something about the material in the seats could not handle the backlash of the roller, where the valve smacks up against the valve seat. I saw online where some people have done it and hadn't had an issue, but Edelbrock recommends not to. So we kind of had to pump back a little bit and went with a flat tappet cam. But like I said, the cam's going to do its job a lot better than the one that was in it. And thanks for you guys in the comments. Originally, you know, we were going to use the original cam, wasn't quite as beefy, and but a lot of you in the comments, it's like, you know, you're going to be killing horsepower, which we already knew this. Kiwi and I talked about this at the beginning, and just trying to figure out how much he was wanting to spend into this thing. So he decided to go ahead and up it. So that's where we're at on that. Now the good thing on this is the push rods are going to work with this cam. So we didn't have to worry about reordering push rods, which we would have had to done that with the roller set up. We'd have to measure for new push rods. So at the end of the day, he still saved a little bit of money. And we got a bigger cam in it. So hopefully it'll do its job. So now, like I said, I'm getting ready to adjust the rockers and everything. Right now I've got everything set at 0 lash. They kind of recommend once you hit the 0 lash mark, go ahead and put a half turn on the preload. I don't know if you can see here or not, but right now I got everything set. You can roll the push rods around, but yet there's no play, so we're at 0. And let's get started on it, and we'll put a half turn into it. All right, there you go. Everything's done in a half turn. Should be good. And we'll recheck it again after the initial fire up, let it run and let it get hot. And we'll go back and check it once more. And yes, everything was properly lubed up before getting put together. The lifters, the push rods, the rockers, the rollers. And this came with the cam kit the other day. It's the Seal Power Assembly lubricant. So that way there, nothing's going to be dry on this. And what's funny is though, when they sit there and ship the cam, it was in its own box. And then they sent me this big box about like this, about like that. I was like, I wonder what's in that. Filled up with a bunch of stuff to keep the stuff stand still, I guess, whatever they use in shipping, the packing stuff. And this was the only thing in that big ass box. I was like, man, that was just a waste of a box. But this is what I used. That's what's in this. So now we'll go ahead and prep the timing chain cover and get the gasket on it, let it set up a little bit, and we'll get it installed. All right, so I'm getting ready to put the gasket on for the timing cover. Front seal's already in. What I like to do personally is just put a light coating of gasket sealer on it. Just kind of hold it in place, and I'll take the bolts and kind of hold it down like that while it's sitting up. But like I said, I like doing it lightly. I know some people prefer not to use silicone, but I just always preferred it. Yes, it's a little bit pain in the butt if you got to take it back apart, but a lot of times there could be some imperfections between the mounting surfaces. So I just gotten accustomed to using it. So I've seen some people just put like little tack marks just to hold it in place. And I've also seen people just gob it on there. And usually what happens is when you gob it on, you go to tighten it down, it squishes the silicone out and it gets inside. The next thing you know, it's floating around in your motor, getting clogged up in your pickup tube or clogging up an oil port somewhere. That should do it. A little excess off right here. There. We'll just let that tack up and then we'll get it installed. Now, through the miracle of editing, the gasket's tacked up, we got it on, get ready to tighten up the bolts. I'm going to snug them up one round and then go back and finish tightening them up. Now I'm going to have a few on there. You didn't torque those. I just have a feel, man. Put enough motors together, you find out. Alright, she's getting tight and installed. Okay, now that we got that installed, we're going to get ready to put the harmonic balancer on. I like to put a little oil around the seal. Don't like putting things together with a dry seal. You can pull it, you can tear it. Okay, let's get the harmonic balancer on. All right, let's get her tightened up here. So for today, as far as we're going to go with it, I'm still waiting on a couple things, still waiting for the pickup tube. Once that gets there, then I can put the oil pan on. Still waiting on intake gaskets. But she's coming together a little at a time. Like I said before, thanks everybody for commenting on the last video when we were talking about cams. Appreciate it. And other than that, guys, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. And we'll see you down the road.